Let's talk about how we went from a sculpture and furniture studio to now doing our first major interior architectural project. Some of the advice I would give a young designer or artist ever given any kind of opportunity is to make sure that you're putting your best foot forward in your presentation. That means the highest quality photos, the highest quality renders, making sure your proposals are tight, your PDFs are tight, your graphics are tight. These are the small things that end up really putting you ahead of the curve. I know that sounds really basic, but that's where everyone falls short. So you have to imagine that if they're receiving a proposal from you, you're not there to actually speak to them, so your proposal needs to do that. And that's what people will respond to. So about a year ago, March of last year, I was approached by Amer Piguet and asked to propose a concept for a lounge booth that would be exhibited or shown during Art Basel, Hong Kong, Switzerland, and Miami for 2 years. So it was a really comprehensive and cool sort of collaboration and something we had never sort of done before. It's my first interior project. Mainly, I've been focused on creating furniture, sculpture, paintings. This is my first sort of project getting into this interior world. And I had been given a bunch of literature and some sort of basic concepts to work with that then I had to, sort of put together into a proposal. And they gave us a small budget to do that. And essentially, I was so excited about this project that I got the whole team behind it and I said, guys, let's put together the most incredible proposal possible. So we ended up spending like 3 times what they gave us. And I just thought I wanted to make that investment so that we make sure that we put our best foot forward. The reason was also because we were competing at the beginning with against 2 other designers. So that sort of upped the ante for me even more. And I said, okay, we need to really bring this home. So, created the concept as quickly as possible. Then we had everything rendered as quickly as possible. And I wanted to add one last element where we made a small but cool video that really described the studio and what we wanted to propose for them. Then of course we submit the proposal and then we just waited and then we waited. And eventually one day I was in my car and I get a call from the liaisons and she said to me, she goes, so I'm calling with some good news and you won the proposal. And so at that point I was like, oh my God, this is my first real opportunity to show people what we're capable of. It was, pretty much my dream collaboration. So immediately after we won the competition, we ended up flying to Switzerland. At that point, they send us to the headquarters, which is in the Valley de Joux, which is in this beautiful region of Switzerland. And that's when I really got to know the brand. I got to meet the people. I really got a sense of who AP is. And then I returned back to New York and I felt like my original proposal wasn't quite touching on all of the things that I really wanted to say now that I had actually met the people, seen where the company's origins come from. So I literally completely changed the proposal at that point. Behind me is the strata wall, which is actually where the quarries are, where they extract the limestone to then create the watches. Then inside of these holes in here, we put little elements like the raw materials that actually make up the watches. So in there you have little bits of gold, you have the limestone, there's crushed glass, which they use for the crystals to create the lenses. This is kind of an experiential retail type of experience where it's not just about coming into a store and just purchasing something, but really getting a narrative, getting a real experience from the space and from the brand. The beauty of this project for me was that it really opens the door for us to be considered in making spaces, in architectural space, interior spaces, and not in your just like standardized ways of using wood, marble, stone, these types of things, but really push our language, the language we've created at the studio using exotic materials, using natural materials, and really transform that into a full experience. There are amazing interior designers out there. The thing that I think that I bring to the table in terms of interiors is this idea of bringing nature indoors, bringing natural materials like earth or dirt or this or that or sand cast walls. Because of the techniques, because of my background in sculpture, I'm able to use those things to create objects or bookcases or coffee tables, really that sort of, emulate nature the same as my work, and then brings it into a physical environment. It's a big field, and a lot of interesting things are going on, and a lot of interesting things are going on in architecture. So I have to sort of find what my voice is going to be and what I can really contribute to that conversation. It's still something that is challenging for me. I've had to really change my way of thinking to be able to produce these types of works. So it's kind of exciting for me in that way as well. There's very rare opportunities that you get, and you need to really take advantage of those. For me, even though my studio is where it's at, we do pretty well and this and that, I still go for it. And you never ever know what these things will lead to. So if you think this project's been crazy, keep track of us, subscribe to our channel. Next stop, Art Basel, Basel. I hear these trees are made of sand. That's cool.